because sound is good. We want people to be able to hear us and, just talking to check the sound. And we have sound, all right. And Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski. Wildcard says we are not casting on Dementia Radio.
Oh, no!
It says I'm on the air, and the chat says I'm casting. Weird. Okay. Tonight's going to be filled with interesting technological battles because we're getting a late start tonight because I had to pick up my son from swim and he got out late. And then I get back here and I'm rushing to set up, and all of a sudden, I get everything launched, and Zoom launches, and there's this dialogue that comes up, says, installing update. No cancel button, no stop, no options, just installing the update. Whether it works on your computer or not, you're getting it. And then
Apparently
of course,
it's working, there's just a big delay.
Yeah. So it's working now. I had to restart Zoom 3 or 4 times, but the audio hijack just originally said, yeah, Zoom's not casting audio. Maybe it crashed. And then Mikey was hearing bongos because of the Zoom update. So fun times all around. So welcome to episode 620 of the Funny Music Podcast for May 5th, 2022. The title of this week's episode is Laughable Sheep. I will put that into the chat so you can refer to it later. And where the hell did I put the chat? It's the chat window. There it is. That's right. I had to relaunch. I had to relaunch Zoom multiple times. So, okay. Okay. So Dementia Radio is apparently working. Okay. Good. So we have a Mikey Mason here.
Hey, one of many.
One of many. There's more of you.
Hooray!
I'm slowly being cloned to take over the world.
Nice.
It's it's a very slow process. It takes about 18 years to raise a clone from incubation to adulthood, and then they're an obnoxious teenager. So in about 18 years, there will be a whole army of obnoxious Mikey clones at age 18. And I don't want to. I knew me at 18. Nobody wants this. I have secured my place as a supervillain.
Nice. And we'll have a pre-recorded interview coming up with me later because I couldn't make it tonight. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a weird mood because I was up till 5:30 last night working on stuff, so I'm kind of slap happy. Oh, I didn't turn the screen back on, so people weren't seeing us; they were still seeing the title. Oh well, sorry, folks. All right, let's do this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, first of all, I should point out I am on my way to the Multiverse.
Ooh.
So, meeting up with Tony and friends to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Actually, I was just in a universe where Star Wars came out, but it was a total flop, and there was no other Star Wars movies after it. So, if you'd like to hear what that sounds like, tune into the newest episode of Tony's podcast, Escape from Walt Disney, where that is the premise of that episode. And I thought it was great. So, I got to go to Night Court. Oh my God, that was so cool. So the sitcom Night Court is being brought back. It's not considered a reboot. It is considered a continuation. And it has John Larroquette, who played Dan Fielding, reprising his role. and Melissa Rauch from Big Bang Theory playing Judge Abby Stone, who is Harold T. Stone's daughter, and the rest of the cast is all new people, and so I got to see a taping of what is production-wise the 5th episode they have taped, and there's a 13 episodes going to be made for the first season, and it's going to air on NBC later this year. So I'm like, Night Court is basically my favorite live-action sitcom of all time, and coincidentally, I had started rewatching it just because I like to have shows on when I'm working on storyboards and stuff. So, but yeah, it just kind of reminded me of what an amazing comedic talent John Larroquette is. So just to be able to see that, live in studio was really cool. Although they did have like a big plexiglass like thing between the studio audience and where they're filming everything, and they had to set up like speakers and mics so that we could hear us and they could hear them. Just as a COVID thing. And they said that for the Warner Brothers lot, this is the first live action live studio audience sitcom with a live studio audience that's come back since COVID. They basically fought to get a studio audience because they really felt this show needed it because of just it's Night Court. It's that was the way it was done back in the day. So the studio audience was normally it's 250 people. This audience was about 50 or 60 people, so they could have it spread out a bunch. But man, it was so hilarious. They did such a great job bringing it back. They rebuilt all the sets, and they even have like the green couch in Judge Stone's office. It's the same green couch from back in the day. So yeah. So anyway, just I was totally fanboying out. I was there for like about 4 hours. And then the person, there was I'll shorten this part of the story just for the sake of, getting on to you guys and your songs. The warm-up comic was kind of interviewing everybody in the audience to keep things upbeat. And he, asked me what do you do? And I was like, I worked at Cartoon Network a few years back. What show were you on? I'm like, I worked on a show called Mighty Magiswords. And the woman sitting in front of me to my immediate left, when I said Mighty Magiswords, she went like, oh, like a big old gasp. and a little bit later on, when the comic guy had moved to the other side of the room, she basically she was there with her husband, and she's like, me and my kids, we love Mighty Magiswords. It's such a great show, blah, blah, blah. So I did some of my voices for her, and then I ended up drawing a little thing of Vamber and giving it to her with my Twitter handle and stuff so she could find the media and stuff. So it was really nice to just randomly meet, somebody who her and her kids thoroughly, loved the show and got it and appreciated it. So that was cool. And the rest of the week was, pretty much my normal shiz, just doing my day job, continuing to attempt to apply for other jobs. For the first time ever, I saw The Simpsons were looking for storyboard artists.
Oh, cool.
Because certain shows or certain studios, you never see them publicly advertising that they're looking for positions, and this is one of them. So Kyle forwarded it to me, and I sent in my resume and my portfolio link. So it's not like I have any expectations greater than any of the other places I apply to constantly all year round. So, but I just thought that was noteworthy or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, what have you been up to this past week besides swim meets and technological problems?
Work mostly. I was up till 5:30 last night doing work again. And there's no end in sight. We're gonna be working all weekend. Yay! I did manage to get away a little bit because I went to RavenCon this past weekend and did a couple of concerts, did a couple of panels. It was a great time all around. Interesting hotel. They moved to a different venue, and this hotel was set up like a college campus with multiple different 3-story buildings, on this big pastoral estate. and that's how that's how the convention was. It was weird, but it was kind of neat. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I managed to record my second concert, but I couldn't get the first one. So I have the audio and video from that, so I'll be using that on this month's episode of The Insider. You'll hear some clips from that concert. And that's about it. Just work and going nuts and stuff. I've got a swim meet coming up this weekend, and I don't know. I've got so much stuff to do. It's going to be nuts.
I did manage to sneak out and see the movie Everything Everywhere All the Time.
How was it?
It's great. It's like it's again, kind of the less I say about it, the more people will like it. But
Yeah.
It's kind of like if Douglas Adams made a kung fu movie. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that listed on. I have an account with Letterboxd if anyone wants to follow me there, and like the reviews on Letterboxd, like most of the time, it's like a typical bell curve where like a handful of people hated the movie, most of the people are somewhere in the middle, and a handful of people love the movie, and how good or how bad the movie is determines which way the bell curve leans. Everyone Everywhere All at Once, whatever the movie is titled, is a ramp. It goes like nobody hated it, nobody thought it was mediocre, people liked it, and then a whole bunch of people fucking loved it. I've never seen a curve like that. So I'm anxious to see it. I do want to go see it.
Also, notable actor in it who literally hasn't been in movies in years because he kind of left the industry is Ke Huy Quan, who was he was Data in Goonies, and he was Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, he basically left the movie industry because they just weren't giving parts to Asian actors at all.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave up and left. And now it's like, oh, they're making movies with Asian actors now? Cool. And he came back. He's amazing in this movie. He's so good. I mean, everyone's amazing in this movie, but like, it's like, he's back. Yes. Woo! So I'm looking forward to seeing him in a ton of more things, I hope.
Cool.
So
Mikey, what have you been up to?
Oh man, I just I write songs, I record songs, I play songs. I repeat. I picked up a second weekly trivia show at the same bar. So now I'm doing Tuesday and Wednesday nights live trivia. Tuesdays are pub trivia, team trivia. And then,
Does that still stream online?
No. That
Okay.
was when COVID hit and the bar closed, just to keep spirits up and to keep me interested. I did it online, and I used that platform to raise money for people in places that needed it. So
Yeah, because I tuned into a couple of those. They were fun.
Feel free to donate here. So the new one, Clickbait Trivia, which happens on Wednesday nights, is using that platform. It uses the crowd per platform. So people play on the bar at their phones. It's all multiple choice, and it's all head-to-head. And the trash talking is amazing. People, and so there are like 4 questions, and then you wager points on the 5th question. And there are 50 questions like that, 5 rounds, 50 questions. And the first round, they're worth 100, second worth 200, third is 3, fourth is 4. 5th round, the first 4 questions are 500. Last 4 questions that you get points for are 1,000 points. And it's just a super fun time. Lots of trash talking, lots of random trivia. It's I mean, truly random, absolutely eclectic. Why is he asking us this kind of trivia? So it's beautiful.
Nice.
And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Thoroughly energized by it.
Cool. That's awesome.
And I'm putting a band together.
You're putting a band together for the trivia or separately?
Separately. I was just in community. I haven't told anybody. I made a kind of a vague book post today that I have plans in motion, stuff and things and stuff. And we just set a date for our first meeting, me, the bassist, and the drummer. And so it may be a 3-piece. I may have a guitarist come in or a keyboardist. I'm not opposed to a keyboardist.
How about a tuba
yeah.
player? Would you be interested in a tuba player?
I have a song that has tuba on it.
Okay.
So it's got MIDI tuba on it, but I would totally have a tuba player on for that one song.
So is this a comedy band or is this a straight rock band?
It's a band to do my songs that there are gonna be some cover songs, but it's mostly just so I can do my songs and probably the songs that aren't necessarily funny. Although I'm not opposed to the group learning my funny stuff and coming with me to conventions if they want to.
You will come around to the dick jokes. We've talked about this. They will come around to the dick jokes.
You can
This is
swim
This is a dickervention.
Yeah. You can swim away from Dick Island, but you never get that far away.
Right.
You come back to Dick Island pretty fast. So yeah. No, I'm having a ball doing the trivia and doing shows. I have this weekend I'm driving down to Arkansas to play a birthday party for a fan. And
Nice.
they were like their husband said, "How much will it cost you? Cost to get you down for a birthday party?" And I told them, they're like, "I can do that." And so now I'm driving to Arkansas for a birthday party.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. So, and there's stuff in the works. I'm going to be at Gen Con again this year. I got all the shows that I had asked for, all the time slots that I had asked for, and in great rooms. And it's taken years for that to happen, but it's clicked finally.
Hooray!
Yeah. And Luke, you know how hard it is to get that to happen.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to say I have had other conventions treat me, way worse, but at Gen Con there's just so much happening that like the struggle to be like, hi, what I'm doing is, something that I think a lot of people would want to see. So please put me in a space that, is, kind of will give me the chance to do a great show for a great number of people, where people can find it, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, that's the struggle,
Yeah. And it's like, unlike many conventions, it's not like they have a music track or a performance track. They generally have some performers who they brought on, and they get a big street stage with professional sound and hotel rooms and money thrown at them. And then the rest of us who actually get people to pay to come see us are in smaller rooms inside and given lower priority. And okay, I get it. I'm not a big name, but I'm a big enough name that people, pay me to come to Arkansas to do their birthday parties, pal.
There you go.
So just, the signs are pointing that I'll be back at DragonCon this year too. So that's happiness for me.
All right. So you posted a song.
I did.
Give us a quick intro. We'll give it a listen.
This is a pickup song. Only it's a pickup song, with a twist. It's about picking somebody up at a bar, but being brutally honest with them about what you want, and that is to pet their cat.
Here is "I Just Want to Pet Your Cat" by Mikey Mason.
Get its hair all over the place.
pet your cat. Wanna give that kitty scritches, get its hair all over the place. Snuggle up and cuddle, maybe let it lick my face. Give it, yes, give it a treat. I just wanna pet your cat. I don't wanna buy you a drink, and no, I don't care what you think about politics, religion, or video games. I don't even wanna know your name. I just wanna pet your cat. I just wanna pet your cat. Oh my god, you're so cute. You got such a little face.
I love that ending.
Yeah.
So where did this one come from?
This started off as a very vulgar song about, let's see. I wasn't a stand-up comic yet when I wrote that version of the song. It was meant to be funny, but it was called I Just Want to Fuck You Hard. And
If anyone wants to do the parody, feel free, you know.
The first verse was essentially the same. I don't want to buy you a drink, and no, I don't care what you think about politics, religion, or video games. I don't even want to know your name. I just want to fuck you hard. And that was and the song didn't get any better. And then I was playing around with it, and I was like, it's kind of, it's dirty and it's funny, but that's not who I am anymore. I've been married most of my adult life, and I've had sex with 2 partners in the last 25, 30 years, whatever, 25 or 30 years, and I was married to them both, so I'm not a playa. I'm not making big sexy moves over here.
You're not a player, you just crush a lot.
Yeah, I would like to pet your cat, though. It's true. I want to pet your cat. It's not a metaphor. I really would like to pet the cat, and and I thought, and I was like, you know what? It was written like a pickup song, but then it just turns it on to I just want to pet your cat, and I do. I want to pet your cat, and I think that there's so much more sincerity and there's more humor in the sincerity than that, and people are expecting it to be some bad. Let's be honest. They're expecting a bad pussy joke. They're expecting horrible sex puns, and I'm not giving them. I'm teasing. It should be, but it's not. I really want to pet your cat, and this is not. I'm not trying to. If you're out there and you have a cat, I would like to pet your cat. One day, Luke, I shall pet Cubert. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want to pet your cat. I really do. I like to see pictures of your cats. I want to fawn over your cat. I talk to my cats all the time like they're people, and I devolve into little baby talk, which I used to be ashamed of. I'm no longer ashamed of. I love my cats. I love your cats. I love your cats better than you love your cats. Your cats should live with me. Your cats should be my cats.
So you're growing into a crazy cat man.
Yeah, I have goals. # goals, plans, and stuff and things.
How many cats do you have?
Currently 3.
Okay.
Just 3. We say
What are their
honestly,
names?
What are the names? We have the oldest is Ragamuffin, but she goes by Rags or Muffin usually. She goes by like she made the choice, right? Like she looked and said, "No, I'm Muffin this week." We just call her that, yeah. And then we have Uncle Arthur. Because Jody wouldn't let me name him Paul Lind, Pawl Lind. So I picked his name. I picked Uncle Arthur from Bewitched because that's my favorite Paul Lynde character. And and then we have Waltz, who is named Waltz because she's missing a paw. She was born without a paw, so she's 3'4".
Aw.
Ah.
Music jokes.
Inside, yeah. You gotta. Waltz is just a cool name for a cat anyway, but being Waltz because she's 3'4", that's even better.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, our friend Shoebox names all his cats after punctuation marks and obscure keyboard characters.
Yeah.
So he had a cat named Tilda for a while. He had a cat named Carrot, and the actual name is like the carrot symbol, like the little TP symbol. He's got one.
My sister had one named At for a while, and
Nice.
its name was the ampersand, but it was At, so she gave it the ampersand.
He's got one named Octothorpe right now, which is the actual name of the pound sign. So
Yes. What is the pound hashtag, man? Get with the times. Hashtag Octothorpe. Wait.
sorry, my wife is asking me a question about work.
Oh, I thought it was that unfunny that I really killed the podcast.
No, sorry.
Like, both of you just went stone silent. I was like, shit, I just lost. I lost the FuMPCast today.
Sorry, my wife is now freelancing for the company I work for. So, I was up till 5:30 last night. She was up with me until 4, and then went to bed working on the same project. We were, tag teaming these website edits together, and so much fun. On the plus side, she actually gets paid for staying up all night. I'm salaried, so.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being. There are benefits to being salaried. That's the benefit to being salaried.
Yeah. So what do you have planned coming up?
Let's see, this weekend I'm at a house concert for a birthday party. May 13th, I'm playing the Fickle Peach. May 20th, online show at twitch.tv/Comedy Rock Geek. Totally free, tips accepted. June 3rd to 5th, Con Carolinas. June 10th to 11th, Origins Game Fair. June 16th to 20th, Fear the Con 2022. June 24th to 26th, Anime Festival Wichita. July 1st is no longer on my schedule because I'm going to a DCI show with my wife, Drum Corps International show with my wife, because she loves them, and I figure that even if I don't love them, I want her to have me there because she'd probably like me to be there. July 15th, 17th, Phoenix Con in Appleton, Wisconsin, and July 29th, the Fickle Peach. August 4th to 7th, Gen Con. I'll keep going with dates until you shut me up. September 16th, the Fickle Peach. September 4th and 5th, that weekend, I'll be at Dragon Con. Really? All right, November 5th, I'm going to be...
Lee, I hope you're taking notes.
They're on my website,
Yeah.
Lee. I updated it for you.
Yeah, all of our websites get exactly one visitor these days, and it's all Lee just updating the tour dates.
I can hope. I put out that monthly fee for someone.
Yep.
Just in case.
All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Patreon, man. Always patreon.com/Mikey Mason. For as little as $1 a month, you get a song a week, every week. They're not always funny, but there are 52 of them a year at least for $1 a month. And if you pay a year in advance, if you choose to pay a year in advance, you can get 15% off. So that's literally less than $11 for 52 plus songs a year. And a significantly high proportion of them are funny. So you're at least getting one funny album that may or may not be released for year or two, in addition to another one or two, maybe 3 other albums worth of stuff for less than the price of an album. And you get to support one of your hopefully favorite artists or next favorite adjacent artists or an artist you've heard of. Somebody who wants to pet your cat. You get to support someone who wants to pet your cat and is actively trying to abduct Qbert. So,
All right, excellent.
Yes. You can be one of Mikey Mason's laughable sheep.
Do I have laughable sheep?
All right,
So
we're going to
I wanted
move on
ask
to... I'm sorry?
Hey, I I wanted to ask Mikey, at the live shows, in particular at Gen Con, are people still buying CDs?
Yeah, well, I mean, geeks. There's a certain breed of geek who wants the shiny. They want the physical object, even if they're never going to listen to the CD. They want the CD. They want me to sign the CD, whatever. So yes, there are people who buy CDs. There are people who buy CDs because nobody makes cassette tapes anymore, and they're mad about it. But they've grudgingly graduated to CD, and now that things are moving to digital, they don't like it, and I understand that. So I make CDs, but I also do the flash drives, and you can also do digital downloads and streaming and all of the beautiful stuff. I know that there's an entire group of people who measures a con by whether or not they spend the money they set aside for that convention. They set aside however many hundreds, sometimes it's thousands of dollars, and if they don't spend that, they think it was a bad convention. And I want this to be a great convention for them. I really do.
Yeah, I'm with Wildcard on this. He says, I want the CD as physical backup in case the digital sites disappear. If Netflix shuts down, we lose all the access to all those movies. If Spotify shuts down, we lose access to all those stuff. But they have to physically come into this room and take all those CDs from me, from my cold, dead hands if they want them.
And that is an absolutely valid point and perspective. And you can get high quality from BandCamp. You get high quality downloads from BandCamp that are on your physical media that they can't take from you. So yeah, while you're absolutely right about the streaming stuff, like the digital media, that's up to you to curate and keep for you. But you're right, the physical media, as long as you have a player that will play that physical media, you're golden.
Yep.
So
yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I haven't put out an actual physical album since 2014, because that's basically just before I moved to California and, the primary focus of my life shifted. So I certainly have enough material to put out another album, but I've just been kind of, waiting for certain things to happen in my life before I kind of make working on that a priority. But I always kind of felt like, once I do make another album, that I was going to reach out to see if I could, go to Gen Con again and, do the Gen Con thing. Because obviously it's just kind of like, I used to make a great profit there because I was just driving from, Wisconsin to get to Gen Con, and they were nice enough because I was doing the judging time of the costume contest with, the hotel room and the badges and this and that. And then, as time went on, it's like, things kind of got, it's kind of like the opposite of what you were talking about. It's like more and more stuff kept getting taken away from me as time went on with Gen Con. So, yeah. And then once I was out in California, it's like I did it one more time, but it's like clearly I'm operating at a huge loss.
Yes. Well, and they've never covered my hotel room. There are performers who do the busking in the halls, who they get their hotel rooms paid for them. I'm not busk friendly. I sing songs like "I Just Want to Pet Your Cat," and or "Best Game Ever," which is clearly about gaming, but I talk about I use words like bullshit, and they don't like that. But when you're interested in coming back to Gen Con, Luke, you talk to me, and I will put you in contact with people who may be able to help you out.
Is it Jennifer is her name, I think?
I'm not going to talk business on this.
Okay.
When you're ready to come back to Gen Con, you talk to me, reach out to me, and I will put you in contact with people. Because what it boils down to is, and this is as business as I'll get, you're going to have to submit shows like you were a game master. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And that's how it works. And you say, I want a show that has X many seats, and they may restrict your seats if you haven't been there for a while. So you may have to do 5 shows with fewer seats than you want to do. But if you put in enough game hours, there are ways to get a hotel reimbursement, and which means, in layman's terms, you won't have to put out any money. Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I just wanted to mention the reason why I was kind of that, for lack of a better term, higher status back in the day was because I was kind of grandfathered in from performing in Milwaukee. Like I started with their costume contest. My first year was 94. I did 94, 95. I skipped 96 for some reason. Because I actually, at that time, I was still living in Kansas City. And then once I came back in 97, I was there every year doing the judging time entertainment, through when they moved to Indiana and everything else. So it's kind of like, and back then, the way they were running the costume contest, they truly needed that big chunk of time. Like I used to do I'd prepare a 20-minute set and I'd be prepared to go to stretch and do, 30 or 40 minutes because whatever their system was for judging, I think it was just basically a bunch of people in a room having a discussion. So, and now I think they've kind of figured out a numerical system for judging so that things are getting tabulated as the contest goes along. And they got so streamlined with it that eventually they just said yeah, we don't need a judging time portion at all anymore because, so they basically, booted me out of, what I can. It was like the first big gig I ever had and the most important repeating gig. I used to release my albums there every year and then it just went away. So it's
they got better at running costume contests and it got you kicked out of a job.
Yeah, basically.
I understand it, brother. So seriously, and I mean it, you need to, if you want to come to next year's Gen Con, hit me up right after this year's Gen Con. Okay?
Cool. Well, yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, because basically it's I'm trying to in my life make my priority finding the full-time storyboarding job again.
Sure.
So I kind of figure once I make that happen, then I can focus on maybe trying to get, that next album done, to come out, every year I say to myself, I got to release my new album at MarsCon, and then I don't. So
I think you have enough Midwest fans that except that you're in MarsCon, and a lot of them come to MarsCon, and that's awesome. And to FuMPFest, and I don't know the status of future FuMPFest, but I know it was financially
it's on hold for the time being.
Yeah, so it's on hold, but yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll have to talk about it because I have to talk with people about it.
Yes,
and so it's one of those things that I don't see it as an impossibility. I think it's something that man, you worked hard to get where you are, and you deserve success. And it was weird in an unfair situation that you got your Gen Con stuff changed on you because you much like me, I'm better equipped to busk than you are, and my material's not appropriate. You know what I mean? But they wouldn't, and neither of us dress up in the costumes to go do our shows generally. So when we do, it's a special thing. So, but anyway, I'm babbling. You are one of the people who paved the way for people like me to make a living doing what I'm doing instead of babysitting drunks and telling dick jokes with my guitar, and I appreciate it. I just want you to know that.
Oh yeah, and it's if you're back in the day, I was trying to get things similar to the MarsCon vibe happening at Gen Con. We had those, whatever it was, that Thursday Night Live or whatever it was, Friday Night Live.
We still do it. It's called the Comedy Cabaret. Mark Gunn handles it. He took over in your shoes because there was a void, and he said, that was a great show. We're doing it again. And so we still do it every year. So
if you're a nerdy comedy musician and you love cats, you can perform at Gen Con.
Loving cats is not necessary.
And Mark Gunn could release an album together of how much you want to pet people's cats.
I'm just saying, he already did drinking songs for cats. I'm trying to get him to do drinking songs for toddlers, but he keeps putting me off. He's done drinking songs for sci-fi, for Firefly, for cats, for hobbits. Toddlers is the next step, man. That's all I'm saying. All right, I gotta go. We were actually. I was like, crap! It's time to do the FuMPCast. We were doing our quarterly budget because we have to do quarterly taxes, and we were doing projections, and I'm tired of being a fucking adult.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm tired of being a business owner. I'm tired of being the CEO of my own company. You know what I want? I want to make the widgets and clock out at the end of the day. But
All right, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
All right.
See you, Mikey. Thanks so much.
Catch you next time.
Laters.
This is the FuMP.
You know, I'm tired out here for a test.
It ain't steady
When
work.
you're trying to get this money for the rent.
It ain't steady
For
work.
the gas and electric money spent.
It ain't steady
Can't
work.
even save up for retirement.
It ain't steady
You know,
work.
I'm tired out here for a test.
It ain't steady
Can't
work.
get paid under the table, tax exempt.
It ain't steady
On the
work.
W-2, don't get skipped.
It ain't steady
Be sure
work.
to itemize everything you get.
Like ever, I wanna be with you and only you for forever.
Insert name here.
I love you and only you.
Insert name here.
I love you.
It's a mess and I'm buried in stress. But other than that, I'm okay.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Which is how my answer gets corrected. Though reality's a pain, it hasn't driven me insane. I'm doing about as well as could be expected.
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, the movie has released the first trailer of Weird, the Al Yankovic story. This is the upcoming parody biopic starring Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic. The first trailer is now available on YouTube. It's probably been linked from all of your favorite Weird Al groups and fan communities, so it should not be hard to find. It looks really interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to this.
I had no idea Daniel Radcliffe was so ripped.
Right? Somebody posted a picture of him, you know, with his shirt off next to Al in the muscle suit from UHF when he was Rambo. So it was nice to see Daniel Radcliffe really going in for the part. MC Lars is looking for students in California to help out with his master's thesis. He says he's looking for high school students to remotely participate in an hour-long online study for his master's thesis. Participants get free Lars merch and a shout-out on his final product. On his final project, contact mclarsthesis@gmail.com for information if you know of anybody who might be interested.
It's such an old school movement to, give somebody a shout out on your thesis,
Yeah, totally. Insane Ian has posted a new music video. It actually just went live today on his YouTube page, youtube.com/InsaneIan. This is a video for his song Blank Page, which is the song he did about the anime Death Note. It's a lyric video which features clips from the anime. It's really cool, actually. So give that a look. It's at youtube.com/InsaneIan. And tomorrow is BandCamp Friday. Tomorrow, May 6th, 2022. Support your local comedy musician over on BandCamp, and more of the money will go to them. And you got anything else before tour dates?
No.
All right. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. Thursdays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel. On the 6th in Gloversville, New York, Drew Jacobs. On the 6th in Livermore, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 6th through the 8th in Columbus, Ohio, Tom Smith. The 13th in Muncie, Indiana, Mikey Mason. On the 13th online, Carla Ulbrich. And on the 15th online, Escape from the Secret Lab with the Consortium of Genius. And speaking of the COG, coming up on May 11th is Dr. Milo T. Pinkerton III's birthday. So happy birthday to our future overlord.
Yay.
All right. Second song posted this week was by me.
Woo!
I decided I like staying home and don't want to go back out into society. So here's a song about that. This is Still Quarantined by Devo Spice featuring Luke Ski and Insane Ian.
Hey, Devo, are you still working from home?
What are you, nuts? I ain't going anywhere.
Like, ever?
No! There's people out there!
Well, Still, eventually you're gonna have to go back, right?
No way. Here, check me out. It's still easy to tell I'm an inside fella. On my phone a lot, still at home a lot, cause I seldom have a good reason to go outside. And I really didn't like it that time I tried. Lately, they've been frankly saying masks, you can take them off. Why now? Cause the economy is tanking? I'm pretty lucky that I never got it. They say COVID is over, you wanna know how I feel about it?
Some Greek letters left.
Devo, Spice is the name, everything is the same. Still working from home, sometimes from the throne. Still not getting ahead. Still don't know how to make sourdough bread. Still got love for my bed and its He-Man spread. Still line my beard, still expanding my rear. Still inside becoming creepy and weird. Still
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask to protect my face, and I still got my sense of taste.
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask except when I eat, and I still got crumbs in the sheets. Since the pandemic started, yeah, I lost some friends, so I'm doing my part to combat that trend. Keep my ass inside, watch Tiger King again. Yikes, does people like Carol Baskin outside? Yeah, ain't no way I'm going topside, and even if I wanted to, I can't because I sold my ride. I look like a snow cone with my hair all dyed, and there's colors that I haven't tried. And besides, everything I could need is DoorDash supplied. Just have faith and Wi-Fi will provide. It's not a fluke, commuting stupid and weird. Why drive for an hour when my computer's right here? I'm still at it, it's more pragmatic. In my home there's Wi-Fi with no tracking, nice couches, good food, and no traffic, plus a better chance of lunchtime action.
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask to protect my face, and I still got my sense of taste.
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask except when I eat, and I still got crumbs in the sheets. People keep spouting the dumbest stuff, and more conspiracy theories you can't rebut. Whether you take horse dewormer or drink your own pee, whatever it may be, stay the hell away from me. I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world. Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
I got Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, and Shudder, and if you try to talk to me, I'll subscribe to another.
So if you ain't up on fame,
it turns out the head of the TVA is Kang. Still got some shows to catch up on, still binge watching, but love to complain there ain't enough on. I go outside, I take my dogs outside, but they know the deal and bark at all who come by. Belly rubs every day and lots of good treats. Now excuse me, that should be my Uber Eats.
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask to protect my face, and I still got my sense of taste.
I'm quarantining in my basement from the outside world.
Still
Talking to people is a no-no, girl.
Still wearing a mask except when I eat, and I still got crumbs in the sheets.
Here's your order, sir.
Thanks. Just leave it on the step and back away slowly.
Hey, wasn't I just here this morning?
Your point?
Nothing. Oh, they didn't have your wonton, so they gave me some change back. 1.5 plus 4 pennies.
Ah, don't touch me. Just keep it. Keep it. Just go away.
Okay. Well, share some with your dogs, huh?
Yeah, I bought extra.
Careful, don't spill it. That's real sticky, icky.
Yes, I know. Can you go away now?
Oh, wait, that smells good.
Go away.
You know, I could come back with a doggy bag for your dog. Get it?
So, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem and a couple other rappers performed at the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and they performed a song called Still Dre, which is what that's a parody of. So I had that song stuck in my head, and at some point I just started saying that I was still quarantining in my basement from the outside world, and I was like, that's an idea, and I just kind of ran with it.
Yeah.
And you once again were the Snoop to my dog.
Yes. And there were so many songs having to deal with having to do with the quarantine throughout the year 2020, and then in 2021 it all kind of petered out and stuff because it would kind of everything had been said, and also people were maybe kind of sick of talking about it. So this is kind of like a perfect catch up to, like, oh, by the way, this is still going on, and now that we're at this state of people working from home and not wanting to stop working from home and just stay home all the time, it's like, yes, this is great. This is such a perfect follow up to that whole thing, you know?
Yeah, because we at my job, I know I've talked about this before, but when the lockdown hit in, what was it, March of 2020, you know, we were originally supposed to, you know, be staying home for 3 weeks. That was the plan. We were going to work from home for 3 weeks. And so, like, Friday, we, you know, packed up our computers, went home. Monday, we picked up right where we left off. And, you know, kudos to my bosses for making the transition so smooth. And then, you know, 3 weeks went by and things were getting worse, and 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And it's like, in the meantime, I'm, you know, trying to plan FuMPFest 2020, thinking, and when is this going to end? Is this ever going to end? Are we, you know, and they just kept us home, you know. And then when things finally started opening up, when the vaccines became available, you know, they realized that their employees were much happier, and they were just as productive, if not more productive. And there really was no disadvantage. The only thing was, like, one of the owners was like, you know, I'm paying all this money to house a server in an empty building. You know, what the hell? But so my job, at least, is not making us go back into the office. Although I have to go into the office tomorrow. But that's just for a special project thing. It's like I've had to go into the office like once every 2 to 3 months. You know, for one reason or another, since they reopened up. So it's fine. I can deal with that. But yeah, I so much prefer just working on the couch in the other room, and, you know, watching Star Trek while I'm working. I'm working my way through all of Star Trek. I've already done the original series and Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and I'm watching them in order using that document that you told me about. And just yesterday I made it up to the movie Star Trek Nemesis, which was the 10th movie and the last of the Next Generation movies, which was good. I hadn't seen it since I saw it in theaters, but I liked it. I'm working my way through Enterprise right now, and actually I'm enjoying Enterprise more than I remember enjoying Enterprise. But anyway,
it's like Enterprise, you know, genuinely got better as it went along, and then right when it got, like, started to get really good, that's when it got canceled.
It's funny how that always happens.
Yeah.
So I have a video planned for this song, and one of the things I learned in my filmmaking classes is that part of the reasons my videos tend to suck is because I don't plan nearly well enough. So for this video shoot, I've written a script, and the script is literally, it's a 2-column table with the lyrics on the left and action shots on the right, like what's supposed to be happening during each line on the right. Then I took that and parlayed it into a shot list. So I have a spreadsheet in Google of an actual honest-to-God shot list of, like, what line I'm doing in the song, where it's taking place, what props I need, what people I need, you know, what locations I need, and everything. And I can tell already it's going to come out better than, you know, previous videos that I've done. Now I just need to stop working 15 hours a day on my day job, so I actually might have time to film something. But because, you know, in the back of my mind weeks ago when I was planning this, I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool if I had the video done the same time as the song. Yeah, right. Like, I'm lucky I got the song done.
Yeah, that was like with me and the Toys video that I wanted to make, which I could still theoretically do. But when I wrote the song, I definitely had a specific things for a music video in mind. And I just, you know, ran out of time and spoons to, you know, make it a thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like, you know, whenever you get around to working on it, I can definitely set up my green screen and film a bunch of stuff for it. So
yeah, I have a couple of shots that I need you for, and I'll send you your part of the shot list.
And also, you know, many times before, but one of the things I like about our group of artists at the FuMP is that, you know, we just kind of drop each other emails, and there's no like, we all know each other well enough and like understand each other well enough that anything that we say we need another person to do, the notion that you're asking in a friendly way is implied. So it's not like we think you're being entitled or whatever, but it's like, you just email me and it's like, hey, I need you to be Snoop. And I'm like, all right, hold on. Let me get up. I'll be your, let me get my for shizzle on and I'll be right there for you.
You definitely shizzled it well.
Yes. Yeah, I really hope, Dr. D plays this and that it becomes a hit, because I think it's really hit worthy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I was happy I was able to figure out the music, although there really wasn't too much to figure out, because I found a YouTube tutorial on how to play all the parts of the song on the piano. What was that?
No, I just said, oh, that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, so it was like, it was like, because I don't have a very good ear for figuring out this stuff, and like, especially when it comes to chords, it's like I can kind of tell what notes they're playing, but I'm usually off by a bit, and this one, when they started playing it, I'm like, yeah, I never would have figured that out. It was actually easy enough to play though, but it was fun. So yeah, I'm really happy with this tune.
And I like Ian at the end there. Especially as you're fading out, it's like, get it?
Yeah. That wasn't in the script. He added that. And originally I had him saying just that he was bringing me change, and he goes, yeah, Uber Eats doesn't do change like that. We'll have to rephrase that. So that's why he came up with the bit about not having the wontons, and so they gave him the cash. So it works. He's actually already sent me video for his part of the song. So I have a couple of shots done from the video, and I actually have one shot done of my dogs. I needed, video of my dogs attacking someone while we were out walking, and we happened to be walking by the mailman, and they hate the mailman. So I just whipped out my phone, pointed it at them, and they, on cue went nuts. So I have that footage at least.
Nice.
So,
yeah, talking about you're like making this, the script and the shot list for your video. I did the same thing for when I was working on my video for Candy Bars, which I never got finished. But yeah, I did that the same way. I have a ton of footage I shot for that video. I went out to the Wisconsin State Fair. It's like I went to a ton of restaurants in the Midwest that I mentioned in the song, and I don't know. It's just, things happened in my life that year that were weird, and it kind of put me in a state of abandoning, pretty much all my creative efforts. Mm-hmm. And I just never got back to it. I'd like to finish it someday, but it'd be funny because at the time I filmed most of that stuff is when I had my really long hair, and now I have short blue hair, so it'll be interesting. So, but yeah, do you have any you just mentioned RavenCon, obviously, that happened. What's like tour dates or what other things that you can plug are coming up?
I have a concert coming up in New Jersey in July. Rob Paravonian invited me back to QED for one of his monthly shows. We just haven't settled on a date yet, so that'll be coming up probably like either July or August, or maybe June. I don't know. And I am hoping to get back to WorldCon, which is taking place in Chicago this year. And I'm hoping to have my new album done in time to release it at WorldCon. So we'll see. If work keeps going like this, I'm not going to have anything done between now and WorldCon. But, at least I have a job. So, sorry, and I realize me complaining about work is like, talking to you is like a rich person, complaining about having too much money. Oh, I have so much money. What should I ever do with it?
Well, that's kind of the weird, my situation as far as like the whole theme of your song of like not wanting to go back into the office. It's like, having worked at Cartoon Network for 3 years, it's like I would love to have a full-time job where I could go back to an office like that, because it was an amazing experience getting to work at Cartoon Network. And now I think the majority of the studios have, embraced the whole everybody working from home thing. So even if I am lucky enough to get another full-time, studio recording job, I'm probably going to be, working from home, which I know has a lot of great advantages, much like your song says. But part of me is just going to feel like, like I'm missing out on this experience of being in this communal place with all these cool people and whatever.
Yeah,
so
that type of job actually benefits from being in a group together, because it's a creative job, and you can, creative people tend to get inspired by each other. So if you spend time around other creative people, it does help out the process. I'm a fucking web coder. It's like, I sit here, we joke that I tweak bullets all day because the editorial staff is never happy with the alignment of the bullets in our HTML. No matter what we do, it's like, move the bullet a little to the left, move the bullet a little to the right. Can we add more, adjust the space between the bullet and the text? And can we, it's like, oh my God, shut up about the goddamn bullets. Me and my coworker joke that we're going to form a metal band called Tweaking Bullets. So yeah, I much prefer just, if I'm going to be sorry, my son just texted me something that made no sense. And I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Darren. So be on the lookout for hopefully a still quarantined video, hopefully in the not too distant future, and hopefully it'll actually be good, Not that the videos I posted on my YouTube channel are bad or anything, but they're very amateurish, they're very fly by the seat of my pants type things.
Yeah, I mean, that was always kind of our MO when it came to, filming FuMP videos. It's like, okay, MarsCon's happening, FuMPFest is happening. Let's get everyone over here. We're gonna shoot a thing and go, and it's a video.
Yep. Because my plan for when I filmed Mandalorian, I knew it was going to be me in front of a green screen, and I was going to have a close-up shot, a medium shot, a wide shot, and then it's going to be me rapping at the screen, and that's pretty much it for the whole Mandalorian video. I had the other idea was that one scene where I talk about the armor being impervious to lightsabers, and I block the lightsaber, and then the lightsaber comes in, where I had to learn how to make a lightsaber special effect in After Effects. But that was it. There really wasn't a whole lot of planning for that video. It was okay, close-up shot, medium shot, wide shot, me in a stupid costume, go. And I'm thinking back, if I had actually planned out, line by line what I wanted to do, it probably would have been a much better video. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, shall we?
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback, that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Okay, there's no feedback this week. So I wanted to do a little pseudo tune talk. I wanted to ask you, have you seen this new live action Mystery Incorporated show that's on YouTube? It showed up on my YouTube channel as a recommended video. Have you seen this or heard anything about it?
I saw that it exists. I watched the first minute of it, but then when I saw that it was 53 minutes long, I was like, oh, I don't have time to watch the whole thing. So I just kind of paused it and put it aside, and then I never got back to it.
That's exactly what I did too. I saw it come up today, and I watched the first minute or so, and then I jumped around. I was like, oh, let's see what Daphne looks like. Oh, let's see what Velma looks like. I appreciate that they're using a real dog, not CGI, for Scooby.
Yeah.
And there's a really great minor 49er ghost at the end of the at the end of the episode. But yeah, I want to go back and I may just watch it tonight. after the show. But it seems to be like a live-action Scooby-Doo done like 90210 Dawson's Creek style, where they're like angsty teenagers in California or something.
It's more specifically meant to be a play on the show Riverdale. Because,
okay.
Because like Riverdale's based on the Archies, and I watched the first season is like, you know, like they're doing it all angsty and serious and stuff, but there was still kind of enough charm and funness to it. And then like every season, it's like, how can we jump the shark even more with this show? And then the second season, like okay, the first season there's like kind of a murder mystery element to it, and which is, you know, the most grounded season is that one. And then the second season there's like this like weird religious cult thing happening, and then the third season it's like, remember the whole 80s mania, like, you know, parents and people like Dungeons and Dragons, Satan's game, kind of thing. They basically do a whole thing with a game like that called Griffins and Gargoyles. and then at some point, like, I just got busy. I've been trying to get caught up with it eventually. In the fourth season, they do a time skip to like some years, you know, a handful of years later. But the point is just that let's take something as like cheesy bubblegum pop thing like the Archies comics, and then do them in like this weird angsty way, and then add all these like, oh, there's a murder mystery, there's blah blah. So that's basically what they're doing. You know, that's why the show's called Coolsville. You know, like, you know, playing on Riverdale, the name of the city that they're in. So I'm genuinely interested to see, you know, how these people made this thing, because you know, obviously I've always loved Scooby-Doo, and it seems like, you know, they produced this first episode themselves, and now they're trying to get like, you know, kind of crowdfunding support to make, you know, the next episode or whatever.
Yeah, they're doing a GoFundMe for episode 2, which makes me believe this is not an officially licensed Scooby-Doo thing. This is like a fan production.
Yeah.
So like, how are they not getting shut down?
Yeah, really. It's that's kind of, you know, those type of things always kind of, you know, give me a little bit of a head tilt. Like, you know, I guess it just depends on the company and the property, because famously back in the day, when people tried to make anything like Star Trek fan films, like, you know, Paramount would always shut them down.
Yeah.
But when Star Wars started coming back in fashion and people started making Star Wars fan films, you know, back when George Lucas still owned it, they just kind of viewed that like, oh, well, that's more advertising for our franchise. So do whatever you want, guys. You know, we don't care.
Yeah, Lucas actually supported the fan community. He put out an album of like sound effects and music and stuff that, you know, is basically a free license that you can use in any fan films and stuff, which I thought was awesome.
So yeah, so it's like, I haven't, you know, looked in to see if, you know, how Warner Brothers is reacting to you know, this Coolsville thing, but I mean, it's like, you know, Scooby-Doo remains incredibly popular in like every demographic.
Yeah.
It's like everybody has at least one version of Scooby-Doo that they like.
Yep.
and digs those characters. So yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway.
I'll probably watch that tonight after the show while I'm trying to stay awake. Because, yeah, as I said, 5:30 in the morning. It's been a day. All right, let's do this.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job. Yeah.
Okay, not much we can tease right now because tomorrow's song is by a new artist, and
Tuesday's song is not yet posted.
So you got to wait for Tuesday to find out. Next week's Spotify playlist topic is Mother's Day, or mothers in general, because Mother's Day is coming up. So, all right. Mikey Mason is at MikeyMason.com. You can find me at DevoSpice.com. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Ski.
And Mikey was here. And so was I.
And he's coming to your back.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDEM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Business!
Do that again. Your connection is really bad.
Oh. Business!
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta